Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing Magic, and Mysticism. And today I'm going to be talking about how to summon the spirits of technology. First, I want to describe the situation. I have an MP3 player. I decided to use an MP3 player to contain the songs that I want to listen to because I didn't want to take up a lot of memory on my phone. So I have the MP3 player, I have the cord to connect it from the MP3 player to the car, and it's plugged into the auxiliary jack. Now, this worked well for about a year, and then all of a sudden, when I would have the setting to the auxiliary, sometimes it would shift back to the radio, and then I would have to hit it again, and then sometimes it wouldn't work, so I'd have to jiggle the cord and do all this type of stuff. I'm sure some of you have had to encounter this before. So, no big deal. I didn't consider it a big enough priority to actually go and fix it myself or to go and get someone to fix it for me. It was just one of those things I like to do sometimes. However, I thought to myself, given this situation, what would happen if I tried to apply some type of magical intervention or to use spirit communication to try to influence the situation? Why not? I thought of how it might be possible. One is we know that with EVP, electronic voice phenomena, that there is a relationship between technology, electronics, and the spirits. They show up on recordings. I don't think that the vast majority of EVP are valid, but I do think that some are. So I do think it's possible for that to happen. I also have had some experience where relatives and even people that I've known who are close to have had voicemails on their phone from people that have been departed. So what happened? They die, and then a period later, a voicemail shows up on their phone. Very strange. There is this connection again between technology and spirits. Whether they can influence it, it seems to be the case. So I had a justification for that, for why I could possibly proceed. The second thing that we know and we kind of assume is that with all different forms of nature, there are spirits that are connected to it. Angels, demons, they have their things that they rule over. If you look at something simple like the elements, they have the elementals who preside over that. You have the sylphs for the air, undines for the water, salamanders for the fire. You have these spirits that are governing these types of elements of nature. You have the fairies and the fae folk who are enhancing the wildlife and the flowers and all this. So there is a mythology behind this, and I thought, well, why not? Why not just try something? So I said, well, I'm going to, and this is something that you may find to be very helpful, because I find that you have to suspend disbelief whenever you're doing some type of magic or spirit communication, especially if it's something you've never done before. You have to develop a relationship with the ridiculous. And most people have thought that certain forms of technology were ridiculous, and then someone did it. Think of the Wright brothers and the airplane. So what I decided to do was make this assumption, whether I knew it or not, that there were spirits that could affect the technology and the electronics that are governing my situation. So before I even decided to call on anything, I jiggled the cord and stuff, and I did that before I even came up with this. I did that for a few months, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it did. But then what happened was that it completely stopped. Nothing worked. Changed the chords, I fiddled with things, nothing happened. So it was just dead. So here we are to the present moment. So I say, spirits of the electronics, spirits that can influence technology, I call upon you to please allow the MP3 player to play. And of course, if you want to try this, you can do it, word it however you feel comfortable. Something simple. So I did it. And I jiggled the thing, and within 30 seconds it played. And it played for about a week. Then with other things, it kind of went off. So I said, well, maybe that was a fluke. Maybe it was just the timing of me playing with the chord, with me, just happened by luck to coincide with it, my incantation. So I said slightly different, but it was the same. I said, spirits of electronics, I call upon you to allow this to play through my MP3 player. And within about a minute and a half, it played. And this happened repetitively, probably for, I did this for a couple months. So I even charted how often it would do it, and it had about an 80% success rate. So I knew that it wasn't a fluke, and I knew that when I didn't say it, and I just played with the chord, that nothing happened. So before I get any messages, just because I get these messages, why don't you just get the thing fixed? Why you got to call? Because it's really not the point. The point of this is to show how spirits can affect matter, how with belief, with the idea of reaching towards what is possible, that wonderful things can happen. So that's my story. I guess that's my field report. So feel free, leave a comment, a suggestion. If you desire to try something like this, I encourage you to do so. We won't know exactly how far we can go with magic and spiritual influence until we actually reach beyond what we think is possible. So, on that note, have a good holiday, have a good Yule, and I will see you in a future video. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.